It was a very emotional day for me and my partner uh, because everything was fine. The Next Door podcast. Welcome back to the Next Door podcast. I am Bestie Next Door, and I'm like your bestie next door. If you like your tea to be extra, extra sweet, then this place is not for you. Because we like our tea to be sweet and bitter. Sweet enough that it goes down, bitter enough to wake us up. Now, guys, Happy New Year. Welcome, welcome, welcome to 2024. Guys, I feel like there's so much that we have to talk about. You know, it took me like a month or so to come back to you guys with a new episode because most of you guys know I was pregnant. And I just want to uncover a lot of things. But before we uncover all of that, I hope that you guys are currently in your journey to becoming the woman that you envision yourself to be. As I was talking about, I don't know if you guys have me on social media on Instagram, but I do make a lot of funny posters on Instagram, and I do kind of like write a lot on Instagram. So I suggest you to follow me on Instagram, Bestie Next Door. I post a lot. Anyway, I post memes. I just write texts. I just talk a lot. I be typing a lot on Instagram. So if you want to like keep up with me like day to day, like when I'm talking and stuff, just follow me on Instagram. Also, if you don't have me on YouTube, subscribe to me on YouTube if you want to see me visually. But I know most people prefer audio, but there's other people that prefer visual. I did do a poll on Instagram about doing pre-recordings or versus TikTok lives. And you guys mostly like my pre-recordings, like when I record and post it instead of like doing an episode live on TikTok because there's a lot of distractions. But when I do like this type of video, it's easier for me to be more focused on what it is I want to talk about. And before I get into, a lot of people were asking me what's going on, what happened. Before I get into that, I want to talk about this thing that has been trending on TikTok currently. Who the F did I marry? The Who the F Did I Marry series on TikTok is exactly what I be talking about. A lot of creators come on here and tell you guys that, he should know if he wants to marry you within 2 weeks. He should know if he wants to marry you within 6 months. That's why I tell you guys, and I don't lie to you guys. I tell you guys a lot of things from experience. Take your time. I also have a Who the F Did I Marry story as well. And most of you guys already know the whole story with the Rolex. I don't want to repeat the story again. I'm not repeating it again in 2024. Go look at my old videos. But that's why I tell you guys, don't rush into marriage. Yes, you have to date with intention, of course. However, don't rush into it because you're not going to know who a man is until a year, 2 years. You're not going to know who he is because a man can pretend for as long as he wants until he gets what he wants. And there's a lot of African movies that show this particular thing that I'm talking about where a man would be so nice to a woman right before marriage. And then next thing you know, once he married her, he acts like a total demon. That's why I'm saying it from my own experience. And there's another woman that's saying it from her own experience about taking your time. Do not rush into marriage. I know a lot of women want to have the happy ending, be proposed to, be a wife. I know that's mostly a lot of women's dream is to be married and be a wife. Some women would not admit that, but most women would love to be proposed to and be a wife. However, as I mentioned previously, and I'm going to say this again, just in case for those who didn't hear me, in case you guys are not listening. You see, I'm pulling my ears out. When I pull my ears out like this, that means you should listen to what I'm saying word for word. When you are dating, you are also watching to see if that man is your potential husband and he's going to be a good father. Do not listen to these people online that are setting unrealistic expectations when it comes to marriage because marriage is not a game. It is not a game. You do not want to marry in to marry out. Marriage is not a game. You don't need to be, he needs to know if he wants to marry me in 2 months. He needs to marry me in 3 months. He needs to marry me in 6 months. Absolutely not. As you are hoping for him to propose to you, you need to be watching him as well. I'm telling you, sometimes it's better to avoid than to say, damn, I should have never. Let me repeat that again. It's better to avoid than to have the, damn, I should have never. If only I knew better. It's because you didn't give yourself time, you end up in a shitty situation. And I want all of you guys to avoid that in 2024. Avoid getting pregnant by a man you know that doesn't want to be with you. Avoid rushing into marriages. Avoid even rushing into relationships. Take your time. Life is a marathon, not a sprint. Anything you sprint into, you will sprint out so fast. Trust me, I've been there. I'm telling you things from experience. Even when I talk about this older guy thing, a lot of older women try to teach to younger girls about, oh, you need to date an older guy. I'm telling you from my own experience, don't even rush into dating older guys. It shouldn't be about age. Don't think that, oh, because he's 40, he's 50, he's settled. Look at the Who the F Did I Marry series. It don't matter about how old a guy is for him to be settled. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't look at, oh, I'm only dating guys that's 40 and up because they know what they want, they know what they're doing. I'm telling you right now, from someone who did that, they will manipulate you and they will waste your see, let me tell you something. And I'm telling you the truth because I'm Bestie Next Door. A lot of these women are not going to tell you the truth, and I don't know why. But I'm going to tell you the truth as Bestie Next Door. And I'm telling you, watch what I'm saying. If you want to fall in the hands of that and make the mistake, make the mistake. But if you're watching this or listening to this, you're going to date an older guy that is way older than you, and he's going to burn out all your youth only to tell you in your late 20s when you're ready to settle down and be married, he's not trying to get married because he's already been married. Unless that man is dating you because he wants to marry, don't waste your time with these older men. Don't date based off of age. Date based off of experience and stability. Because a man could be 45, 50 and not be stable. While a man is 20 something, he got it all going on. Trust me. Don't date for age. Don't date for, oh, I want an old man because an old man is going to... Trust me. A young guy can spoil too. It's 2024. We're not in the early 2000s where, oh, it's only older men. Young guys are getting it too. Trust and believe. Okay? I wanted to talk about that. I just wanted to get that rant out. You guys know how I used to do my little rant. I just wanted to rant that out because I've been seeing a lot of things, not posting and not just sitting back and watching, consuming media. And I've been seeing a lot of things happen. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I got to come back on. But now we passed that segment. I want to talk about what happened with me. And, it happened it's not even a month, honestly. It's not even a month. So most of you guys know I was pregnant, and unfortunately, when I gave birth, it was a stillbirth. And for those who don't know what a stillbirth is, it's basically a baby that is born unalive. It was a very emotional day for me and my partner because everything was fine. And I'm sharing this with you guys because, I'm being open. I'm not being too open to my private life because you guys don't know who my husband is, and I don't think I would ever post him because that's just too much. But I'm just being open with you guys because I feel like I want you guys to understand that a lot of things that I say to you guys, I actually live by. And I really didn't think I was gonna cry, even though this is pre-recorded. I didn't really think I was gonna cry. I really live by. So basically, to even give you a backstory, and I don't really owe anybody an explanation, but I'm just going to explain because, this could be somebody going through something just like this, or I could help someone that's currently pregnant right now, I don't know, but I'm just going to vent out. I didn't even open my water. So I basically, my son was due on the 12th, and I went to do my sonogram on the 2nd. And when I went to do my sonogram on the 2nd, they told me everything was okay. I'm like, okay, everything's okay. And I had an appointment the same day I was due. I had an appointment the same day I was due. So I didn't really see the need to go in for another, just randomly go in for another checkup in between because, again, it's just literally a week apart. And I was literally doing my appointments a week apart. So on the 12th, on the 11th, the night of the 11th, I wasn't really feeling my baby move as much as he usually moves. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to the hospital a few hours. So let me just wait. He's probably sleep. Let me just wait. And when I got to the hospital, a lot of people, if you haven't given birth or you don't have any kids, this is how they usually do it. When you come into the hospital, they check the fetus heartbeat first. That's the first thing they do before they start setting you up or giving you epidural, whatever the hell they want to do. So as they put the as they was checking for the heartbeat, they couldn't hear it. So I had to go downstairs immediately for sonogram for them to check. They didn't hear no heartbeat. So they told me that, unfortunately, you have a stillborn, you have to still give birth because I was already in labor. I was literally already in labor. So it's like, you have to give birth, but it's a stillborn. And at first, when they said it, I really didn't have, I really didn't, I didn't really, it didn't register in my head at the moment because I'm already in contractions already. So it didn't really register in me and my partner's head. It didn't really register in our head at all. We were just like, what? I'm like, I still have to give birth. It's different. Like, it would have been different if I had to maybe have a C-section done where I don't really have to see the baby, where it's like, okay, it just happened and I could just like. But I think for me and my partner, it got kind of emotional for us when we had to see the baby, and my partner really witnessed me going into labor. And he saw everything. He literally saw everything. I told him that he should not look down. That was one rule that I told him, and he thought I was joking when I said this, just to make a little laugh or whatever. I don't want any. I'm not as sad as I was before, but I told him, don't look down. If you look down on my vagina, I'm gonna stop the whole scene and tell you not to. So funny enough is he tried to look in between my legs, and I said, you know what's funny? I literally stopped in my contractions and said, babe, don't do it. Don't you even do it. He looked at me like, how, girl? But he didn't. But he actually did. And he told me, he said, once I saw the head, like, I saw the head coming out of you, I literally wanted to pass out. He wanted to pass out so bad. But, thank God he didn't, because he was he was the only person in the room. Like, it's not like my mom was there. I only wanted me and him to experience that, like, have that experience. I wanted to give him that experience. And I also wanted to experience it with him. So yeah, when my son came out, I was like when my son came out, I just hysterically started crying. I was just like, oh my God, like they killed. I just started shouting, they killed my son, they killed my son. That's what I started shouting. Um, you know, it's not like my son, his head, like the umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like one of those situations where it's like, oh my God, the umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck or anything. He just gave out, and he gave out a few days before his due date. Now, had I had a responsible doctor, and I don't want to blame anyone because it's like it's so easy to blame, and at one point I was blaming myself because I was feeling like, damn, had I had just followed my mind and just went to do, maybe randomly do a sonogram, maybe I would have saved him. But maybe if the sonogrammer that checked me on the second had told me like, hey, he's a little bit too long, because my son came out 7 pounds, but he was long. I'm 5'7", my husband is 6'2". So we're gonna have a tall baby regardless. Like, we're gonna have a tall baby regardless. Because me, even when I came out from my pictures when I was a newborn, I was long. I was really, really long. And my son was long. He was really, really long. So I think that, like, me and one of my close friends was doing research, and apparently I think that he may have lost oxygen somehow, somewhere. I don't know if maybe he was squeezing the umbilical cord and he lost, like, was squeezing it himself, or maybe he outgrowed the placenta. But somewhere down the line, he didn't make it. Um, and it was a bit emotional to see him come out. He was gorgeous. Like, he had so much hair. So much hair. I was shocked. I was even shocked. And, it was just emotional for me and my husband. We like cried, we cried. We spent time with him, a little bit, and then obviously he had to go. Um, Now, a lot of people will wonder, how can I be so strong and recover from such tragic or just emotional time? I'm a very strong person. I have a very strong mentality, and I believe that everything happens for a reason. Um, at first, sometimes it's hard to see the light in the darkness, but I always try to see the light in the darkness, because I know that at the end of the day, it can't be dark for too long. It can't rain for too long, no matter what. And I'm saying this to anybody right now that's currently listening to me and is currently going through anything in life right now. It can't last forever. And I believe that. And, I've been through so much in my life to know that anytime that I suffer a big loss is because I have a big win. Some people, I don't, from what I've learned from this situation, and I'm going to tell you what I've learned probably towards the end. Let me just give you guys some advice. One, if you're currently pregnant, follow your body, follow your mind. Don't put your life and your child's life in your doctor's hands. When you do that, anything can happen. Anything can go left. So when you think in your mind that, you know what, maybe I should just randomly go check, do that checkup. If you're thinking in your mind, maybe I should induce myself before my delivery date, do that. Trust me, you'll save yourself that what if or that blame. You see, at one point, I kind of was going to blame myself, but then I thought about it like there's nothing I could have really done, to be honest, because it's not like I didn't go to my appointments for 2, 3 weeks. I really kind of was like getting reluctant because they were telling me I was so healthy. But however, whatever God has written, it must be. And it's written that way for a reason. And personally, if I was to think about, damn, me being a mom right now, do I when I found out I was pregnant, I didn't really think it was even the right time. I personally, I if I'm to be transparent with you guys, because you guys are my, I'm Bestie next door. You guys, we have a relationship now. I've been talking to you guys for like almost a year, 2 years, 3 years now. So we have a relationship. So personally, I didn't think it was the right time for me. I was like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. I just started the YouTube channel. I'm just like, I'm getting into my emotion. I didn't think it was the right time. And it just came at that time. And I literally had to slow down. I had to slow down because I was tired. I just didn't want to, my style of how I was doing it changed a little bit. So am I hurt by it? Of course. Am I down about it? You can't knock a bad bitch down for too long. you know, um, I am kind of down about it, but the good thing is that I'm still alive, because it could have gone, I could have lost my life. And the amazing part about the whole labor experience, I'm happy that I was able to experience labor. And my respect for my gender is times 10 because ain't no way a woman can go through such painful painful and beautiful experience, and then you have a man coming to tell you about, oh, you need to start paying this bills, or you need to start working after you give birth, or I ain't no way a man could disrespect a woman that has given birth. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. It's such a beautiful experience. A beautiful, beautiful experience. And even though I've experienced something that's not too ideal, the whole stillbirth thing, I still feel like it was a beautiful experience for me and my partner because we were able to connect. And I think that during my pregnancy, I had a good pregnancy, but the relationship between me and my partner was kind of like getting a little like, ugh, like I could not stand him. I could not stand him. My son came out looking like him. I couldn't just stand him. And it's not that my husband wasn't there. He was there. Like he was always there. It's not like he didn't want to do things. He always made sure I had the best, like the best of the best. The best of the best, even down to like going home, like going, like flying around. He made sure I fly in the best. I was driving, like he made sure I had the best, like delivered me water. Like, so I can't say that. I think that this whole experience brought us to, like, we're like closer on another level. Like when you go through such experience with someone else, like a man, like such experience, I feel like he's my life partner, and I don't want to talk too much about him because it's not about him. This is about me and, you know, my whole experience with, giving birth and stuff like that. Um, I just want to say that, you know, now I'm on a journey to snapping back, The best part that I love, 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 and I thank God for so much is I don't have no stretch marks on my stomach and my stomach is not saggy. There's nothing wrong with any women that do have that. Please don't be offended. I'm just saying my own thing. I'm just thankful I don't have that. I do have a little extra fat on my stomach because I was eating a little bit more than usual, but I'm happy that at least that my skin, the elastic on my skin is really good, that I don't have like a saggy stomach or like a loose stomach. And I think it helped because I was walking my dog every day and things like that. So I think that helped because I was really active as well. So immediately after I gave birth, my stomach went down. Like I just went down. I went down. I kind of went down. And I'm thankful for that. So how I talked about this year is about accountability and transformation. So you guys are going to watch me on my transformation journey as I like go through different phases, and I'm going to talk about it a lot, currently right now, the project I'm working on right now, I don't want to really say too much about it, but, it's a course that I bought, And I actually put the link in my bio as well for any of you guys. I put the website link in my bio for any of you guys that's looking to get into content creating and just like looking to, increase your income, because I think that's something that's really important this year as well. As much as we talk about men, we also got to talk about us as well. I feel like when you are not dating from a place of desperation, I think you have better dating experience. When you're not dating from a place of desperation, a place of lack, you have better dating experience. And let me explain. I mean that when you are settled in life as a woman, like you're settled, like, you have your own little income, coming in, you could afford certain things for yourself. You'll start picking guys based off who they truly are and what they can provide for you in your life as the man in your life. I hope that makes sense. So I think that this year, instead of like, I want to shift the energy a bit. Instead of like more so of, he has to have this, a man needs to have this, a man needs to have that. You need to look at yourself first and ask yourself, do I have what it is that I'm looking for in a man? And that's the honest truth, because I feel like even as me too, when I talk about my husband, right? I had to get to a certain point in life for me to even meet him. Because it's funny because prior to me meeting him, we were literally in the same places. Like we're literally, I could be like, let's say, for example, I'm in a lounge. I'm sitting here. He's literally down there in the same lounge as me, in the same club, literally. And there's been times where I will go back and I'll look at certain footage and I'll say, oh my God, were you here? Were you around? He's like, yeah, I was down there. Look at, and in the footage, when you're in a club and sometimes you're just filming the whole club. I literally will be filming the whole club. And I remember I was showing him a video. I was like, yeah, I was in New Year's. I was in this particular place. And he was like, yo, look at me and my friends right here. And I'm like, wow. So that's to show you that until I got to the point of where I became the person I wasn't going to meet him. And he had to become the man he needed to be in order to meet me. Because during that time when he met me, he just got a brand new car, brand new Benz, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it had to be given that. You know what I'm saying? So we both had to develop ourselves in order for us to meet. And that's the advice that I'm giving to you guys that are listening to me right now. You want a man. Yes. We all want a man. We all need a man. I don't want to hear I don't need a man. We all need a man. Just like how women need men need us. Ask yourself, and I'm going to end on this note. I don't want to end sad because it's not giving sad. 2024 is not giving sad. It's not giving, I lost my baby, so I'm sad, and no, I have to be strong, and I'm going to be strong for you guys, and I'm going to be strong for those of you who are currently mourning a loss or currently going through a hardship in life right now. I'm going to be strong for you, because if I could be strong, then that means you have literally no excuse to not be strong for yourself. Whatever it is you're going through, pick yourself up and just keep going. That's the best advice that I can say for you, and that's the best advice that I tell myself every day. I keep going. No matter how hard it is, don't allow the negative and the rainy season to consume you so much that you allow the whole year to be the rainy season. Remember, in life, there are different seasons. Just like in life, there's different seasons, just like how there are different seasons in the weather. If this year started out bad for you, doesn't mean that the whole year is going to be bad for you. The only way this year can be bad is if you allow it to be bad. And what do I mean? Let's say something happened to you in January, or something currently is happening to you right now, and you consume in that. Then you're setting the tone for the whole year. But you got to show the devil that, yeah, you think that because of this experience that you're going to knock me down and I'm going to be sad for the whole year and I'm going to start turning to you for help. Listen, it sounds kind of cliche, but everything happens for a reason. And when something happens, you're not going to know the reason now, but months, weeks later, you'll be like, oh my God, it's going to all make sense. I'm strong as I could be strong and I could move past this crazy experience. So can you. Whatever experience you're going through right now, you can move past it with grace. Hold your head up high. 2024, we are growing. We are watering ourselves to grow bigger past our imagination. And I want to grow and develop right before your eyes, because I want to be the example of, wow, Bestie, if Bestie can literally get through that and still come back on live and still come back online and still be laughing and giving us content and, you know, doing this, doing that, then who am I to sit here and be in the house crying sad about the breakup? Or who am I to be sad about this? Or who am I to be sad about the fact that I just lost my job? Who am I? Because nothing lasts forever. It's just a season. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, thank you for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. Guys, like, comment, subscribe. Talk to me on Instagram. I mean, sometimes it gets a lot overwhelming to see DMs, because I get a lot of DMs in the requests, and it just be a lot to respond to sometimes. But follow me on Instagram at BessieNextDoor_. If you have me on TikTok, BessieNextDoor, just follow me. And guys, I didn't even open my water the whole time. That's crazy, right? And guys, you know the rest. Oops. Until we meet again.